Welcome, 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 everyone. Come on in. Come on in. We got to talk, y'all. We got to talk. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm going to go ahead and check the audio myself here. All right, looks to be good. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come in here. And I know that I'm here at a very obscure time, but we got to talk about the Charlie Kirk's investigation, psychic investigation that I've been doing. You guys, I think this may be one of the most important videos of this whole series that I'm about to tell you. This has nothing to do with Charlie and everything to do with what I'm about to reveal in this video today. I'm going to try to get this done in like 45 minutes. So please, guys, when you come in here, put a like on the video. And I am asking for you guys to subscribe to the channel. More than half of you that watch me regularly are not subscribed to the channel. And the reason why I need you guys to do that is so that people can get these messages, because I am one of the channels, not the only channel, but one of the channels that is here to help us in these end times. And what the end time is the end of an age. When everyone talks about there was an end time, we're talking about the end of an age, the end of one energy signature, and the beginning of a new one. And so I'm here as Mother of the Ages in official capacity to help us close out this energy signature. And we're about to start a new one. And we should start this new age, this period of time that lasts over 2100 years. We should start this from a higher vantage point or from a higher level of consciousness. And that is what I am here to do. So thank you guys. Come on in. Hi, T. Thomas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to continue on our psychic investigation, the Charlie Kirk's fake death psychic investigation. You guys can go and watch all the other videos leading up to this. And I will say this before we get started. We're about to go into some heavy templates. I'm about to tell you how Charlie Kirk's fake passing has revealed that everyone is actually Black. There isn't any white people on the face of this earth. This has nothing to do with Charlie and everything to do with this end of the age portal that we're in. Has everything to do with the false religion. Guys, you know I'm more of a prophet. I receive impressions. So what's that is like sort of through my clairsentience, I receive messages through impressions that I get in my body. I receive visions, prophetic dreams, prophetic visions. I don't actually just go check into anything. I receive those things and then I use my gifts and abilities to open up these large templates to expand what it is that source God has already shown to me. So here we need to talk about something. What I'm about to reveal today, this was actually shown to me last night. Last night I tossed and I turned, and there was a energy, this COVID energy that I've been talking about, this spiritual COVID. So last night I was in that energy field, and within the energy field it exposed so many things. Exposed fake religion. It exposed this religious template that I'm about to open up and show you what I found in there in the message that came through last night, and how the Charlie Kirks of the world were literally, actually, to be honest, I'm very thankful for Charlie, because had he not been as authentic, right, as he was about his views, which some could say now they're kind of far right views, if he had not been as authentic as he was, I would never have seen this. If I would have never opened up, and expanded his energy and looked into Candace Owens and found out that they had a biblical timeline, these two, with Candace being Rebecca and Charlie Kirk being Esau, I would have never gotten to this. So this is how key codes of consciousness open up. One thing leads to the next, leads to the next. On the mundane level, you guys will call this a rabbit hole. But on a spiritual level, we call this key codes to consciousness. And the first key code to consciousness is awareness. So once I had the awareness that we are not dealing with anything 3D, when we are looking at Esau through the avatar, the soul archetype of Charlie Kirk. What we're literally looking at is Rebecca as Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk playing Esau. We're looking at the womb. Guys, stay with me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are looking at the womb. Who else is in the womb? Jacob and Esau are in the womb. I need to build this out for you. These two brothers, as you know, were twins. Esau representing the white race, Jacob representing more the black race. However, guys, remember, if you were here a few videos ago, what Source said. Source said that these two were not twins, but it was a representation of the fragmentation. The fragmentation of the, so to speak, black and white race has led to a mutation. And how do we get the mutation? We get the mutation when we put ourselves down. As society will say, this thing, you know, black people fit into this box and white people fit into this box, and white people are known to have these characteristics and black people are known to have these characteristics. And when you take the bait and you think negatively about yourself, now the fragmentation becomes a mutation. And so I'm here to tell you what has been revealed to me last night was literally predates the mutation. We are about to go back to the beginning, and we are about to go back to the original infliction, which actually caused the fragmentation. The fragmentation also was this fragmentation, subjugation is what I'm hearing. This lie that we're about to expose is how we were able to even live within the fragmentation, believing that there's a difference between black and white when there isn't any difference. And it's so much bigger than what we ever thought that it was. Now, stay with me, guys. Remember, what I do here on this channel is very multidimensional. Today, we're going to open up the religious template. Today, we're going to open up more the race template. Okay? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you the vision, and then I'm going to tell you I got an email from a client and what happened. Listen. So last night, I was in the energy field of the spiritual COVID. The spiritual COVID is the energy field that we find ourselves in right now. The Charlie Kirk fake death. And I'm saying that because I've done a psychic investigation. I did not get a real death. There is some foul play. I don't know if he was in on it or not in on it, but that part doesn't matter because big picture, Charlie's consciousness is still here. Okay, that's big picture. Now, here's the thing. In this spiritual COVID energy field, I was tossing and turning all last night and spirit, and I believe that I was tapped right into Source Divine. Source Divine had me sleeping on my right side for a period of time, and then I would turn over and sleep on my left side. So I switched in between these two positions, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. So now remember when I said Jacob and Esau's in the womb. They're fragmented. That's why they're twins, but they were one. There was one pregnancy, and I don't know what happened, but whatever happened now split the two apart to become, you know, as we know, Esau and Jacob, the black and white race. Here's the thing. It was like when I was sleeping on my right, I was able to get, it was actually on my left. I was sleeping on my left, and so my right was kind of, you know, exposed, right? And so what I came to know in that moment, guys, is that this Charlie Kirk situation, it actually made us understand this thing that we call duality. It's not enough to know that there's duality in order for, because everything is about to shift. That's why the government is shut down. There's a lot to get into. Remember how I said that the Charlie Kirk's fake death was because they're about to reset? Why did a few hours after I said that last video 2 days ago, literally the government shut down? Because they are in preparation for the reset. These things are happening in real time. So here's, catch it. Charlie Kirk made us understand All last year and a few years before, we dealt with Biden and the left. We dealt with Antifa. We dealt with George Soros energy, and it was far socialism and all of that. Well, the Charlie Kirk death made us look at this thing we call white nationalism. It made us revisit some of these race templates and revisit what is Christianity. What, like I said before, Charlie Kirk put a crack in the foundation of our reality. And ever since then, nothing has ever been the same. And there's so many people, whether they realize it or not, they're opening up different templates because they're examining things, right? They're questioning things. But here's the thing, guys. With Charlie Kirk, now has exposed the duality, the polarity of the far left. And now we get to do something very beautiful because it's not until we experience both right and left and we meet somewhere in the middle. That's how we transcend the duality focal point. I was in the duality focal point. And if you haven't been on this channel, here's the thing, guys. The duality focal point, this womb that I talk about that Jacob and Esau are in, and these templates, they all kind of look almost like a black hole. I had awareness that I could put my hand into this, like I said, this almost black hole, indicative of the void, indicative of the womb, indicative of duality focal point, right? Which is literally the eye of the needle. That's how you go through, is when you learn both sides, right? So the Charlie Kirk has done something very special for this humanity at the end of the age. It has brought us to the far right. And in the far right, people were waiting for the rapture. You had literally people literally taking their children to CPS, giving people money, people in the LGBT community, because they just knew that they wasn't getting raptured. It exposed the ego and how this thing that we call Christianity is only a vehicle. Christianity, Judaism, the Muslim faith, these are what we call vehicles. And this is what this whole thing has exposed of what I'm about to go into, right? But you have to know that Charlie Kirk's situation had to bring us far right. So we can see Black and white people have been praising two separate gods this whole time. Because remember what I said, the white God, so to speak, the white Jesus was about to rapture all the white people. Black people too thought that the white Jesus was coming for them. This is important. They thought white Jesus was about to come for them. And they literally did the most. And what it showed was really how egotistical some people are. And not the fact that they thought that they were getting raptures, the fact that they just knew everyone else was being left behind. That's why they start giving stuff away to the people that they just knew wasn't going, right? Because they had been judging them. They had been prejudging, right? And so here's the thing. It brought us there. And it made us understand that we haven't been praying to one God. And unless you're praying to a God that is talking about the interconnectedness of all things, talking about transcending duality, talking about the source energy that literally powers everything in creation, even inanimate objects, unless you're talking about the oneness spirit, then you ain't talking about the true source God divine. You're talking about a vehicle. A religion is a vehicle to carry certain structures, certain ideologies, and certain movements. This is what this exposed. The white nationalism exposed that Christianity is just another vehicle to move money from point A to point B. Where was it moving money to? America to Israel. That's the biggest thing that's on the chopping block. And because, remember, Charlie Kirk was tapping on the Israel lie. Candace Owens, the same thing. I've been talking about it for a long time on this channel, that Israel will be debunked, defunded, and all of that money will start to funnel into the true Israelites, which are scattered all around the world still. So here's the thing. That exposed that this Christianity is part of the strong delusion. Remember how it says, I will send you a strong delusion. Talks about this in the Bible. A strong delusion is something that deceives the entire world, not just deceives the people. How easy is it to deceive the non-believers? No, the strong delusion, beloved, has to deceive every single one. You have to know that. And so what deceives every single one? It is the polarity or the duality between religion and non-religion. Because the very fact that you can put something into a box of religion now also states with the law of polarity that the people that are non-religious are also put in a box. So this would be a strong delusion. Everyone is in on it, because literally the leaning to the left or the right automatically separates. I always talk about coming into the middle and transcending the duality focal point. This is the only true way to expansion. This is the only true way to bring back the fragmentation between the right and the left, between the Esau and the Jacob, between the black and the right, is to understand both and transcend going through the eye of the needle, because your heart is as light as a feather. Because now that we see that the black people were praising a God that promises them their mansion when they get to heaven. And if you guys grew up in a Southern Black Baptist, you know what I'm talking about. Your things, your latter rains. It's never today. No, it's always for a better tomorrow. This is the gospel that black people had to literally, they got whipped this doctrine into them during slavery. It's okay, I'll get whipped today for a piece of bread, but my tomorrow will be better when I get to the kingdom of heaven. That's where my mansions are. Meanwhile, you have a whole nother group of people, let's say the white race, they can get their mansion today. You know why they can get their mansion today? Because the God that they pray to believes in war. The white nationalism, their God believes in war. Their God is in alignment with that, like I said, the fake Yaldabaoth from the Old Testament, the one that wants your firstborn child and all of that stuff. It's not in alignment with the Christ vibration and energy, with the Yeshua. It's not in alignment with that. It's in alignment with war. So what we have is we have two groups of people being deceived by this vehicle that we call religion, specifically Christianity. On one side, on the left, it's keeping you oppressed. And on the other side, it's literally whipping people's ass to keep you above them. I think that's God. Sit with that for a moment. Do you really think that that is God? No, 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 it's not. Here's the thing. The reason why Candace Owens can sit on her platform right now and call out Turning Point USA for not really pushing forward with the investigation, just accepting the fake Charlie's death. The reason why, zone out, big picture, the reason why she can do that is because this is the end of the stage play, folks. They have to show you duality. So on one end, we got Candace saying, even though she already knows, she's talking about, investigating the fake 22-year-old shooter. She knows that man ain't had nothing to do with this. You can look at the whole footage and tell, but yet she's still on that because she's playing a role. She doesn't know, but she's playing a role. When we zone out, they have to lead you to the duality focal point, because this is how they escape their karma. What they're saying is, I showed you both sides. It's not my fault that you didn't listen. It's not my fault that you didn't go through the duality focal point to escape the karma, because I'm here to tell you, you don't want to be left holding their bag. And I'm going to get to how all the white people are actually black. This source led me to something. Here's the thing. Trump ain't white. Vance ain't white. Ain't none of these people white. They're not. We're about to get to that. Here's the thing. They want you to hold their bag. They want you to hold their karma. And how they do that is they use people like Candace Owens. She's pushing on this side. And then we got the other side, the far right. They're pushing on this side and they're saying that, okay, yeah, Israel, keep funding them, white nationalism, war, keep taking over places and, keep winning. As long as we keep winning, because they're here to show you the middle. But you have to transcend it. Trust me, behind the scenes, they're going to be transcending it. And the ones of us that are left in the far right or the far left will be the ones left holding the bag, holding the karma. And then this is why you keep getting reseated back here, because you're filthy with karmic residue. And because they offload it on you, they show it to you. They're showing you a karmic mirror right now, but are you seeing your reflection? Can you see it? So here's the thing. Oh, and by the way, this is a prophecy for Candace Owens. Let me just stamp this right here. Candace Owens is being booted out kind of the white community, where she's going to find a safe haven with Black women. Candace Owens will start doing some sort of work with Black women. And I think it will have a lot to do with Black single mothers. I think she will be like coaching or helping or, trying to, preach to them about how the Black, how this can lead to poverty, right? For Black women, being a single mother and all of these things. Mark, that's just a sidebar. Mark my words. This is what she is gearing up to do. So Candace Owens is actually gearing up to do some work in the Black community. So when we zone out, these things could be a very good thing, but only time will tell. So here is the thing, guys. Here's the thing. So when we talk about transcending duality focal point, they've showed you far right and far left. I already told you when I was channeling, Source said, the true source doesn't believe in war. So the very thing that this far right, the white nationalism, believes in war, the war God. God, the true source energy, does not believe in the war God. In fact, it is a total abomination of him, her, us. And also, too, the God that the Black people were praying to, the ones that promised them a mansion in some imaginary place, that, trust me, you'll never get to the true heaven if you don't actually cycle correctly. Do you think that you're going to be controlled and subjugated on this earth, and then when you die, you're going to get free? When you've been enslaved for the entire 90 years that you've been here, if you don't get free now while you're still awake, ain't no getting free when you die. You're going to be recycled back as a slave. And this is how you get the generational curses. I'm telling you, source ain't just never lied. Get out of these false religions. It's keeping you literally lowered in frequency. Black people, it's keeping you enslaved. I don't care if it's Catholic, Christianity, being a Muslim, a Hebrew Israelite, I don't care. If you're attached to this vibration, it was created as a vehicle for subjugation, to enslave you. And it's enslaving the white folks too, because duality says so. Because if you are the war god, hey, let's just go and let's push and let's take over and let's fight and let's push our Christianity and go into different lands and let's push our book and our doctrine on people, then you're still on the other side, on the polarity. And then the Black people are over here just recycling their subjugation. And what you're doing, both of you, is holding open a portal for them, the ones that are in power that know the truth, to slide through. And how do we close that portal? Their lie, their religious lies. How do we close it? We come back together. No more far right, no more far left. We fall somewhere in the middle, and then magic happens. There is an energy here that now takes Jacob and Esau from the fragmented state back into oneness and wholeness. And now, what the Candace Owens character, which is really Rebecca, can now birth out one child back into the original state, because there isn't any such thing as white people. This is what this showed me today. So the duality focal point, guys, is how we come back together into oneness. And then we go through it like a portal, like a womb, like the void, right? It's all kind of the same thing. And when I was in that spiritual COVID, I was able to see, and almost I had awareness that my hand could go into this religious template, and it was gooey and it was thick and it was like dark tar, but I had awareness of what I pulled out. And what it said was the Christ, the white Christ. What they have been using to subjugate us, both black and white people, is the white Christ, is the white Jesus. So if you look like the white Jesus, then you will feel that you are right. You will feel that you have authority to go and literally to colonize the entire world with the book. It gives you the power to do that. And if you don't look like the white Jesus, then it allows you to literally stay all the way over to the left in your subjugation, living and dying in spiritual filth and generational curses. Because you will always feel that you are not good enough because you don't look like the white Jesus, which was an implant into the religious template given to us by the Vatican, given to us by the reptilians, given to us by the Yaldabaoth from the very beginning of the template. This is what they used to subjugate both people. Because there isn't any white Jesus. We only come from one source. The entire world, guys, is black. Because remember, Source said a few videos back, the Jacob and Esau were never twins. It was always one. It was a fragmentation. How do we begin the fragmentation? The very thing that black people say they don't like about white people, all that stuff I described, the very thing is the very thing that Source Energy God told you that it didn't like about you. And so what we got when we get the white race is literally a real life version of the very things that God told you to change. And so if you don't know that truth, you're going to be stuck on the polarities forever, never able to come back together and mend the fragmentation by just doing the right things. And don't think I'm coming down on white people because there ain't any such thing as a white person. Every single person here comes from one source. It's a lie. Race is also the other lie next to religion that they use to enslave us. There isn't any white people here. And truly, there isn't any black people, because the absence of white now does what? Gets rid of the word black. Because what? Now we have transcended the duality focal point. We're breaking their tools right now. We're literally breaking their tools. Everything that they gave us to subjugate us, to keep us separate, so that they could keep escaping the karmic portal each and every time. And we got left holding the bag because we were still sitting over here in hate, still sitting over here in lack. And now we found their tools out. So last night I found out their tools, what they've been using to subjugate us and to keep us separate. When there isn't any such thing as white or black. The absence of white naturally gets rid of black. You wouldn't have even been able to call yourself black because there isn't anything to compare it to. There's only one source. There's only one source. If it ain't talking about love and oneness and the interconnectedness of all things, then it ain't God. You have never met God yet because the religions are hiding it from you because it's your birthright. And this is all I've been trying to do on this channel. But you won't know it unless we zone out. Do you need an appointment with a priest to go talk to your father, your natural born father? Would you need to go outside of your own house, drive 45 minutes to a priest, to a pastor, to a book, to make an appointment with someone that's living in your house that literally you could just walk right over to? Would you need an appointment for that? No, it's a lie. You wouldn't need it. God is within. The kingdom is within. We are one with the universal energy that always was and always is. There isn't any beginning or end. There isn't any book. There isn't any doctrine. There isn't any boxes. There is not. These are their tools. The race, the lie that we're separate, the Jacob and Esau lie. There's only oneness. And how do we fix this is we go back to the original energy signature as far back as we can go to when we were one consciousness in love. And that dissolves their lie. Today I was driving and I heard the song, like, it's called Ghetto Superstar. And this is like 13 years ago. It's very old. It's like God was sending me a message, wanting to give me a confirmation, told me to go and look at the video. And I want to pull that up because I'm here to tell you that no, there isn't any white people. All these white people you think you see in power, they're not. They're not white. Remember, I said a long time ago, these are the same people that have been keeping us divided, and they've been reseeding themselves in every civilization, from ancient Mesopotamia to the ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet. They're the celebrities of today, the aristocrats of today, the famous artists of today. They're all the same people. You and I are the only ones stuck in a loop. So here's the video. I can't play the music, but it's going to show you what I'm talking about. And God wanted me to see this video, brought this song to my mind. I mean, this thing is very old, like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago old. Look what happens to the politician who's speaking. Look what happens. Look, a black man. You guys see that? I'm telling you, there isn't any such thing as white. There isn't. This was the confirmation of the message. There isn't any way I would think of that song. There isn't any way I could think of that song. A song so old. No, it was confirmation. God wanted to show me the confirmation. So everyone that you see, the white people in power, they're not white, guys. These are the same people since the beginning of time that have always had the power, and they've been defying God because God said on one end, I'm going to give you Esau. The thing I told you to change about yourself, okay, you're about to get that. You don't think these people knew? So what did they do? They hid in that. Instead of just going back and fixing the ego state, releasing the lower third and the ego, what they had to do was actually now hide within that. But they are not white. They're not. They're just playing a role to keep us divided so that we never find transcendence. Because if we find transcendence and transcend this duality focal point, then we break all their tools. And when all their tools are broke, then their whole entire system falls down. And then they cannot feast and siphon from us. Oh, God. Lord, now this was going to church, y'all. This is subscribe to the channel, y'all. I put my heart and my soul into this. Like the video. This has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, guys. Nothing. Nothing to do with any of this, any of our silliness. We are one consciousness. And right now, we're at this is the year of the 9, but not only is it the year of the 9, we're at the final energy push from the last age into the new age that lasts for over 2,100 years. So the energies are much larger. And we have an opportunity to be the rulers of this next time period, this next age. But we have to get rid of their tools. We have to renounce the silliness of the race, the silliness of the religion. Your father's living inside of your house. Why don't you just walk over to his chair and talk to him? Would you go and have to read a whole book when you could talk directly to your father and get his word from his mouth, pressed down, shaken together, right into the heart space? You wouldn't need it. This is where we are. And until we do this, and until we release the lower third, because remember, Source said, we're going to expose one lie. Before everyone started talking about Israel, Source said here on this channel, I'm going to expose one lie. And the exposure of this one lie will unravel everything. And it has. And that lie was the Israel lie. And now people are coming to the understanding that Israel is actually demonic, because they uphold the very thing that God said that it didn't like about the original, what I'm going to call it, for the lack of better thing, black people. And so even when we see Israel and all the ways that they're acting, just know those are the ways that God told the original people to stop doing, which would have been black. So by pointing the finger to black or white, you're pointing it back on yourself, keeping you back in the loop, because there is no such thing as race. There's only one consciousness. That's it. And I know it's going to take a long time to deprogram, but when Israel falls down, it's going to make it easier, because their energy has been consuming us, keeping us lowered in frequency. We've been like crabs in a bucket. No more. You are becoming the giant of your soul. The giant sleeps no more. We are awakening to our crystals, Christ. Energy, DNA, activate. And we're going to talk about the dragon DNA too that's been awakening. And I forgot to tell you guys that. See, what's really happening when this falls down, your dragon DNA is about to activate. The 12-strand DNA, like I said, the purification of that, and as it cycles through every sign, every zodiac sign, now produces 144,000 frequency. This is a frequency that navigates you back home to the true source, back to the true kingdom, which has always been within. And when you remove the false God, when you remove the lie and the caricature of God, because God is the interconnectedness of all things. There isn't any beginning or end. It always was, and it always is, and it exists without you needing to do anything to have it, because it is your birthright, because it is you. And all you must do is simply breathe and exhale and receive it. It's that simple. They don't want you to know that. It's that simple. And so I know it's going to take time for us to release that. But the more we work on releasing that, because in truth, your race, your this earth suit in the race is part of the lower third. It can't go. It cannot go. You can't carry your race, carry the religion, boxes and all that to the new earth. We'll never get there. It can't go. It's too dense. Because what? It's part of the ego. Guys, if you have not picked up this book, I wrote a cosmic Bible. It's the Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages. There'll be some links down below. Pick this up on Amazon. It explains to you all of this. All of this, it explains to you. The ego must die for us to actually be able to go through the eye of the needle, to transcend the duality focal point, to get birth out of the womb. It's all the same thing. But if you're far right and far left, you won't get there. If you're still black and white, you won't get there. If you're Muslim and Christian, you ain't getting there. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? You ain't getting there. You're not getting there. Because it's all about transcendence in this hour. Because if you don't transcend, they keep you holding the bag, the karmic bag, taking you back to a karmic loop, and you can't get out, not even in death. That's the sad part, that they don't tell you how multidimensional this thing is. If you don't wake up now while you're still literally awake and alive, you're going to be recycled. Agreeing to the nonsense. Agreeing to put on the next earth suit. Because you know why they do that? Because that's them. All they're doing is popping into, I got an Asian earth suit on, and I got the Polynesian one on. I got the white one on. I got the black one on. Right? I got the Arab one on. When it's all the same people, they're lying to us. These are the same people that have been in power since the beginning of time. I got an email from a client days ago, but I didn't see the email. Now, this client, she's a Caucasian woman from Austria. Hi, Stephanie. And we did some very special work together. We did some very beautiful work together. And she was in my Ascension program. And the thing is, guys, if it was not for her, I wouldn't come all of this of what I know now. I would have not known had it not been from the codes that she possesses. So I'm here to tell you it's a lie when they tell you, oh, white people can't be conscious and, black people can't be whatever, civilized. It's all a lie. We're dealing with energy here. She was holding key codes to the beginning of creation. And in her first session, her past life regression, we went to the year of 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It was 8 zeros. She was the representation of the primordial waters, of Tiamat, of Sophia energy, of a physical representation of the mitochondrial Eve gene, right? Which on this earth planet, we contribute that to being black. But I'm here to tell you that there wasn't any color per se. There isn't any color. We don't get earth suits until we come into physicality, but the energy always is, because there is only one source, one consciousness, one love. And so in this year, and she was just existing in her free-flowing energy. And then there was a awareness of a masculine energy. And when she merged with this masculine energy, this is when it all went to hell. This masculine energy was Yaldabaoth, which would later become the God of the Old Testament. And when that happened, when her free-flowing loving waters was actually taken and merged with this individual, it created something we call matter. And matter is literally the captivity of the feminine presence of source. So the feminine presence of source, we are awakening, and males too, you have this presence inside of you. But when you are female, you get a double dose of it, right? This is a spirit consciousness and spirit waters, right? And so this created matter. And so everything you see that's bind down to gravity spake, this is captivity. Things should be floating. And in fact, if they never came up with a race lie, if there was not these people reseeding themselves and keep playing these characters when they know that there isn't race. There is no such thing as that. Doesn't exist. Because when you cancel out and you get rid of white, it on the other end gets rid of black. The only reason why you know black is because you know white. If you didn't know white, there would be no need for black. There's only one consciousness. I think I made that clear. But here's the thing. This When she became captured, it became matter. We had this thing called gravity. That's all a lie. It's all subjugation. And the thing is, we should actually be flying on this planet. If those people that kept reseating themselves, if they would have just listened to the instructions for humanity that Source was trying to give to them, telling them to clean out their DNA. It's too dense. They can't expand. We would literally be flying. We'd be flying between here and our store families and up into the stars and stuff. This was all to hold us down here into the material world. That's it. We're all a pawn in their game because they know who you are. You possess the true spirit consciousness that they do not have. They had to subjugate it. And this is what this client helped me to see. They had to subjugate it. They had to capture it, turn it into matter, and then put people in place to demean it. And we went through all those years of women not being able to work and women not being able to do all these things. It's deeper than what you think. It was to subjugate Mama Source. They did not want you to learn about the mother. Remember what I said, there will be a daughter Christ that arises in this age. There will be a daughter Christ that comes online and is going to change the game. And once you feel it and experience, you will never be able to live in the old paradigm ever again. I love you guys so much. This is the message. I'll be back for more. I may be able to get to the comments. I love you. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like the video and share all of this. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Hi, Sister Sonia. Hi, loved ones all. Hi, Sister Gail. Hi, Sean. Hi, Bright XXX. Hi, Sister Carolyn. Hi, Divine Reflection. I love you guys. So much gratitude. Yes. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Take care. I'll see you soon, okay?